Jasper Williams III. Son, brother, pastor's kid, graduate, Woodward Academy, college graduate, University of Georgia, BA, Masters of Theology, concentration, Urban Ministry, Dallas Theological Seminary, vice pastor, pastor, church planner, husband, father, a salesman, tech advocate, senior leader, consultant, depressed, anxiety, intermittent explosive disorder, bipolar 2, still married, still a father, still a man of God, enrolled in a doctoral program, mental health care advocate.
Well, happy Sunday evening to everyone here. I see we got a few people online. I'm going to try to wait to get to a few more. Let's go ahead and explain to you now what that title means. Did y'all see the title of this live? If you did, put in the text if you can. I just want to see if you're able. He is able, but are you able? And I'm bringing on the Instagram audience, and so I'm going to explain to them as well. It says that I am now live over here. What up, IG? Jasper Williams III. I wonder, did that title catch you? Brown Sugar Baby, thoughts on D'Angelo's issues. I think over here on Facebook, I said D'Angelo's journey. But I'm saying over here on Instagram about his issues. Well, this is one of those things that was unplanned. Nobody in my household knows that I'm doing a live. My wife is taking care of something. But I was listening to What Up IG? IG, y'all got Facebook, or who is that? YouTube, y'all got them beat. Thank y'all. Hang around in here. If anyone has mental health issues or struggles, why don't you tag somebody? This is about mental health. I really have a big heart for mental health, and maybe you know a pastor, maybe you're a pastor, maybe you're related to a pastor, married or whatever. I want to speak to them as well, but I also want to talk to people just in general about their mental health space and what we can do about it, and maybe even snatching some sheets off of what's already there. I was sent a link to a D'Angelo documentary. It's really, really good. I've only listened to the first 10, 15 minutes. Shout out to Katie. And man, first, I never knew that D'Angelo had an issue with church. That's where the basis of his struggle was. All the stuff that happened, the car wrecks, I think what the news purported as being other issues, let's just say drug abuse, as well as the arrest. All that came from something. It came from a particular space. What up to the Black Jag White, and to Hughes.Isaiah, Chosen, Trinae. It's good to see you all. Thanks for joining me. Again, tag someone who you know. Even if it's not but you, I just want to talk to your mental space. So D'Angelo was one of those child prodigies. He just sat down at the piano, heard something, and start playing. And we probably all could reminisce and even bring up some of his hits. Brown Sugar Baby being one of them. Baby, let's cruise. How does it feel? Every woman in here that's of a certain age probably knows more than just the song, but probably has seen uh, probably has seen that video. Anybody in ladies, are you here on tonight? Little short story. Um, that was the first concert that my wife and I ever went to go see. It's in Fort Worth, Texas. I was in Dallas. She surprised me. She bought tickets, and man, so D'Angelo has a special affinity in my heart. So a little background. He was born and raised in church. His mom did not want him to pursue his music, but his father said, pretty much, be true to yourself. His mom didn't want it to pursue music because of some of the lyrics, some of the sexual lyrics it is that he would sing in his songs. But his dad said, live, son, go be you, go be great. And because his parents were in ministry, his dad pastor particularly, the signs that were being sent were a little confusing to him. And that's why I pinpointed his issue of what later on came to be way more seen, way more verbose. And that was being his mental space. Two parents, one is saying yes, the other one is saying no. One is saying go, the other one is saying stay. How can you how do you differentiate the two? That never was my story. A lot of my pain came from my parents' divorce, from dad being absent from my life because of what ministry was doing to him. But more than D'Angelo and more than the church, with the church being what I think as the center to his struggle, his personal struggle. More than any of that, the divide that is there with him and maybe with you, torn between two opinions, is what's causing place in your mind, place in your heart to break, a place in you that's struggling. Now, one of the things that moved me to going live tonight was because I know where a lot of pastors are. A lot of pastors, if you're not a pastor and you go to work on Monday, you can put yourself in that same box. But a lot of pastors are maybe sitting in front of a blank screen, thinking about tomorrow, maybe have a title for their sermon, maybe a scripture, maybe their suit that they're going to wear on tomorrow, but they don't want to be. They do not want to go to church on tomorrow. They do not want to stand up and do what people expect and have that clash with how they feel. So, do you see how you can fit yourself in there? If you're not in ministry on Monday morning, you're sitting there on Sunday night instead of Saturday thinking, I don't even want to go in. I don't want to be bothered with anybody. I don't want anybody to say anything to me left. And you're maybe even contemplating, even though it is your main source of income, just forget it. So being a pastor, my heart goes out because I've been there so many times. So many times. Really procrastinating, kicking the can down the road. Knowing what I feel like the Lord wants to say on Sunday, knowing that there's something special that God wants to do, but having a real hard time getting it done. Wanting to quit, wanting to find a reason that I have to go do it again. Can you see the split? Can you see where and why this kind of schism can cause you to do some things that you would never do if you weren't in the place that you're in now. And so, D'Angelo, with his most recent loss or recent death, rather, he lived that kind of life. He lived a life that was strained. He lived a life that was without solace. The way that the very first song that's played in that documentary, he comes out on stage as he is returned to performing, and he starts singing the Lord's Prayer. I thought it was really odd. That's how you open up a concert. Of course, my ears perk up. I don't know if you know this or not, but the Dark Side, they do crazy funny stuff with with the Lord's Prayer. And anyway, I knew he had a CD titled Voodoo, so I've been kind of watching and listening. But after he sings the first refrain of the Lord's Prayer, he begins to sing a prayer from his own heart. And you hear the pain around him saying, "Give me peace. Give me peace." Having been in a place for so long that he did not have peace, here he is now stepping out to do what he was made to do. I believe if D'Angelo could have had a little help, he would have been along the likes of a Prince, of a Michael Jackson, my opinion. I don't know who your greats are, but I believe that his gift and his talent was so pure and that he was so made and designed to do what he did until he could have been one of the greatest to ever do it. But because there was no peace in his heart, because there was no peace in his mind, he took off for 14 years. Nobody saw D'Angelo. 14 years. What would you do? What would you do if you could disappear for 14 years? Would it make you feel good? Would it make you more lonely? One of the musicians that was playing for him had played for Prince and his bass player. Played for Prince and for James Brown. And he said, no, it wasn't the bass player. I think it was the drummer, and I don't remember his name. But he said that D'Angelo was as amazing as he was as an artist. He couldn't do the simple things like leaving the house, leaving his apartment. Now that one little statement right there said a whole bunch to me. That he had an apartment, a man so accomplished was living in an apartment. Was he in New York, Jersey, somewhere up north where condos, flats, or whatever call apartments? I don't know. But for me, my ears perked up. Him being in Virginia, I've not known the word apartment to be used and to be commonplace for people that live in Virginia. He couldn't do the easy stuff, the simple stuff, like leave the house. Let me tell you all, mental health will debilitate you, but it does not have to. You can live, you can make it, you can be integrated into society, into your world, into your family, into your workplace. Because let me tell you, as soon as you leave where you are, you're probably going to find out. All right, I'm backing up. I'm talking too fast. Let me back up. I have started so many different projects. I was talking to my wife about something yesterday. They said, talking to her yesterday. She goes, "So is this supposed to be another one of your projects?" I got mad at her at first, but she's right. She has a right to say that, because I have started so many projects over since the time I've been married to her. And here's why I start them and don't finish them. It's not so much because of poor character or poor integrity, though it can look like that. Side note, ADHD has jumped front and center now that I have some of my other mental health stuff under control. And it is horrible to bounce from here to here to here to here. Let me say it another way: to go from project to project to project to project, looking for that next hit of dopamine. What is going to make me excited? What am I going to stick with this time? So, if you could do something else in a state that you're in, do you think it would really last? Do you think that you would find joy this time? I'm here to tell you, you probably wouldn't. Because no matter where you are when you travel, if there is a storm on the inside and you're at Atlanta Hartsfield Airport and you leave from where it is raining outside, you see the rain on the windshields, but there's rain in your heart. When you arrive wherever you're going next, Chicago, let's use for an example, sunny day, but it's still raining on the inside. My point is that when there's a cloud or storm on the inside, no matter where you go, that storm shows up again. And that's what Mr. Brown Sugar Baby himself. Yeah, I'll try to talk louder with that train going by. Mr. Brown Sugar Baby himself wrote about and creatively slid into his lyrics the pain of his addiction and how he was addressing it, how he was trying to mute it with marijuana. Probably some other stuff in there, certainly the latter part of his life. Allegedly, there was some drug addiction. When there is a stressor on your mind, when there's something that's going on the inside of you that you can't quite itch, it'll do you in. It'll make you not want to do or unable to do the simple stuff. Now, let's talk a little bit about how his condition affected others that are around him. I don't know much about his family situation. God bless his son now without two parents. One of the musicians that was touring with him, as much as they loved playing with D'Angelo, as phenomenal of a musician as he was, they said, my concern about going on tour with him again is that he'll change his mind about wanting to perform. Now, maybe you don't see it like I do, but to do something like that could be catastrophic for a musician, someone who makes their living playing, doing tours, at the mercy of someone who has this terrible storm, this confusion that is on the inside that I think started at the church. The genesis of it was at the church, having two parents giving two different messages. So the musicians were hoping and praying that he wouldn't change his mind for the sake of their own financial stability. But I cannot hear that and not think about how some of my decisions affected my family deeply. Deeply. A lot of hurt has been leveled on my wife because she was the one that was there many times, the one covering for me, making wrong right, trying to add some buffer, trying to explain away my actions, protecting our kids, and suffering injury herself. When you don't have chance to go and see about yourself, if it's one more thing that you have to do other than to address your own mental health issue, who knows the damage that you're doing? You've heard that phrase, a bull in the china shop. You're probably two bulls. I'll end here. I had a pastor that reached out to me last week. End of last, no. Yeah, they DM'd me probably like Saturday night. Talked to them quickly on Sunday. Man, I need to talk to you about this whole mental health piece. I'm struggling. I was affecting more than him. I'll leave it right there. Tell you something. I'm being straight with you as I can be. Until you go and get some care for yourself that is specifically geared towards mental health issues, it's not going to change. This same pastor that called me, I've been talking to him for a long period of time. And no matter how much I talk, no matter how much I listen, from what I know, there hasn't been any resolve with the state of torture that he's in. And probably he's going to have to stand up and preach on tomorrow. And probably doesn't want to. You cannot tell me. Maybe this is why. Maybe this is why me coaching folk doesn't last long because I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna sit there. I'm gonna give you practical stuff. I'm gonna tell you how to manage through. I'm gonna be that ear. But after so long, if there's nothing else that you're doing that I suggest regarding medical attention, I can't do anything else. And if you don't go and get and seek medical attention, listen, you're no less of a woman of God, no less than a man of God, no less in any regard as a man, as a woman, a layman, somebody that's not saved, someone of a different faith and persuasion, religious persuasion. Your brain needs attention. If I were to break my arm, I can just bear it and say ouch and keep taking Tylenol, some Advil or whatever, wrap it up in a splint. But when that bone start to heal, when those bones start to heal, they would heal incorrectly when I had a chance to go and see a doctor, to let him set the bone right, analyze the break. Is this something that needs surgery? And the way you give yourself medicine, you probably wouldn't want to admit. Let me name a few. Marijuana, alcohol, pornography. See, these are all things that are looking for the next hit, the next thing that makes you want to feel better. Your brain searches. Dopamine is that feel good enzyme. Strip clubs, stripping, risky sex, same sex, because you're looking, hey, okay, I've tried, this isn't quite doing it. Let me go get something else. Gambling, Netflix, all this stuff is medicine. And can I tell you, that kind of medicine is not what your brain needs. You need more than just another hit of dopamine. You, say this twice, once for this camera, once for this camera. You need some medicine. You need some medicine. It takes medicine and lifestyle change to begin to deal with and uproot the root of whatever your mental health issue is, your childhood stuff, things that play over and over and over again. It's causing much like D'Angelo's parents this clash. We can go down that trail a long time. I've been on here long enough. I hope my few rambling comments have struck something in you. Maybe it's hit some kind of nerve. maybe you'll hear this as a clarion cry to go get some help. Don't put it off anymore. Start finding what your insurance covers. There's a lot of free stuff that's out there. A lot of organizations. You can win. You can thrive. You don't just have to continue to survive. You can thrive in life. You can love yourself again. You can love yourself more. You can begin to see your own value, what you mean to you. And you can't love anyone else more than loving yourself first. To all my pastors, preachers, laymen alike, for those of you all who are preparing for Sunday, whatever that looks like, my heart is for you. My mind is for you. I'm praying for you tonight. Hey, look, I don't know. I just dropped the link here real quick. I can go with some other stuff I can be doing. If there's anybody that wants to pop in, click that link. If you're here on IG, go to my Facebook page, Jasper Williams 3. If you have something to say, Jasper Williams 3. I'm going to end Instagram. I'll just wait. Going once. And put in the chat. Okay, there we go. Going once. Going twice. To all of you, have an amazing night. Keep hope alive.